الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أرسله الله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا. أما بعد، فيا عباد الله، أوصي نفسي وأوصيكم بتقوى الله عز وجل. فقد قال الله جل في علاه في القرآن العظيم بعد أن أقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وبعد. We begin by praising and thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. نحمده, we compliment Him, ونستعينه, and we ask Him for help, ونستغفره, and we beg for His forgiveness, ونؤمن به, and we believe in Him, وَنَتَوَكَّلُ عَلَيْهِ, and we put our trust completely on Allah. Whomsoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses to guide, no one can lead that person astray. And whomsoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses to lead astray, no one can guide that person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you and me in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, O you who are committed to Iman and faith, اتقوا الله حق تقاته. Have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be aware of your relationship with Allah and be afraid of breaking that relationship in the way that He deserves. وَلَا تَمُوتُنَّ إِلَّا وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. And don't ever give yourself the opportunity to die except that you are a Muslim. What I want to discuss with you today is a topic that is near and dear to every believer's heart. It is something that we are reminded about anytime we open the Quran, anytime we think about the hereafter. It revolves around where our father Adam alayhi salam, where he originated, what we were created for, paradise, Jannah, al-Firdaus, and where our ultimate home, by the permission and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is going to be. The more that we know about Jannah, the more that we can describe heaven and paradise, the closer our heart is attached to the hereafter, the easier it will be to pass those difficult tests in the dunya, where we have to choose between pleasing ourselves or some immediate worldly gratification, or choosing something that aligns with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do in terms of worship, in terms of sacrifice, and in terms of action. And the sad reality is that there are a lot of things in this world that we're really passionate about. And if I ask somebody to talk about the favorite celebrity or sports player or movie or video game, whatever it may be, whatever they're attached to, they can talk about it for hours and hours and hours, all these details, things that a lot of people don't even know because they're attached to that. They're passionate about that. It's something they think about. And if you ask somebody to talk about Jannah, for sure they can tell you some of the things that everybody knows about Jannah. But could they spend hours and hours, even if we spent hours talking about paradise, and all the details that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran about Jannah, and all the things that are mentioned in the authentic narrations of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam about Jannah, we would spend hours and hours and hours, and just barely scratch the surface. And so we need this deep, we need to have this deep internalization, this deep attachment to the hereafter and to Jannah, so that it influences our actions in ways that we don't even realize. And I want to start off by describing some aspects of Jannah so that we can be even more attached thereafter. And one of the best descriptions that we can start with is that which the Prophet ﷺ says about Jannah in a hadith that's known as Qudsi, in which the Prophet ﷺ says that Allah says this. He says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَعْدَدْتُ لِعِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحِينَ, I have prepared for my righteous slaves, my righteous, obedient, worshipping servants, مَا لَا عَيْنٌ رَأَتْ, what eyes have never seen before, وَلَا أُذُنٌ سَمِعَتْ, and ears have never heard before, وَلَا خَطَّ عَلَى قَلْبِ بَشَرٍ, and has never occurred on the heart of a human being. Jannah is so grand, so magnificent, so beyond description, and so special that the way that the Prophet ﷺ describes it, as he says, Allah says, that it's indescribable. It has things that your eyes have never seen before, your ears have never heard before, and it has never occurred on the heart of a human being. All of the descriptions that we have about Jannah, as the companions used to say, that there is nothing in this dunya that is the same as Jannah except the names. Like we have descriptions of trees and cities and gold and silver and all these things that are in Jannah, and mansions and castles and roads. And these are just names to help us try to understand what's in Jannah, but the reality is that it's far beyond what you can imagine. And that's absolutely amazing, because that means that when, by the mercy and permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we enter into Jannah, it's going to exceed our wildest expectations. The Prophet says it hasn't even occurred on the heart of a human being. So you can imagine and imagine and imagine how amazing Jannah is, and for sure Jannah is going to be even more amazing than that. And this is the opposite of the dunya. In the dunya, when you tell somebody how amazing something is, and you hype it up, when you build excitement around it, oftentimes when somebody hears all that and they go and they have that experience, it doesn't live up to their expectations. But Jannah is the opposite. You can imagine how amazing Jannah is, and for sure it's going to be a pleasant surprise. It's going to be even better than what you can imagine. Your eyes will be jealous of what your ears get to hear in Jannah. And your ears will be jealous of what your mouth gets to taste in Jannah. It is beyond description. And some of the descriptions I'm going to share today is for us to just try to envision and have this deep seed in our heart that flourishes into this plant, this garden in our heart, so we can enter the garden of the hereafter. And this is what the word Jannah means. The word Jannah in Arabic means a lush, thick garden, a beautiful garden. And it's the name of this great place in the hereafter that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised for His righteous, obedient worshippers. And although the word Jannah means garden, it has a lot more than just gardens and fruits and trees in. Just like in this world, we call this world the dunya. And the word dunya includes everything that's in the world. It includes the city life, the rural life, it includes places that you can visit high up in the mountains, things deep in the ocean. It has physical pleasure, it has emotional pleasure, it has all this amazing parts of the dunya, and we call all that dunya. Well, Jannah is the same way. Even though the word Jannah means garden, it has all these other parts of Jannah as well. Yes, there are these thick, beautiful, lush gardens and fruit that comes in pairs, and each bite is better than the last when you're consuming that fruit. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet also say about Jannah that there's these tall pavilions and tents in Jannah. There are mansions and castles that people have as part of their property in Jannah. There are roads in Jannah. There is a town square in Jannah where people from different levels, they get together, and there's a social interactive element in Jannah. There is a marketplace in Jannah, where even though a person can have everything that they want, they can go to this marketplace, this store, just for the fun of it. Just because there's fun in getting things that you see and you browse and that you enjoy. There is different roads and streets and pathways in Jannah, not just grass and a garden. There's a breeze, a wind that travels through Jannah. And when that breeze comes into contact with somebody, that person becomes more beautiful. And they return to their family, and their family says, you arrived more beautiful than when you left. So Jannah has so many things that maybe we don't even know about. And the more we learn about it, the more attached we'll be to it. And one of the most amazing things about Jannah, and it's something that we know, but when we experience it hereafter, it makes it even better. One of the first things that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that happens when people enter into into this hereafter is that the people of Jannah and the people of hellfire, may Allah protect us from that, they witness something. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said that an angel comes in the middle of these two audiences, of these two groups of people. And this angel has with him a goat or like a ram, a kafsh, like a ram, like an animal. And he slaughters this animal in front of these two audiences, the people of Jannah and the people of hellfire. And the people of Jannah and the people of the hellfire, they recognize that this kafsh, this ram, represents al-maut, it represents death. And an angel sacrifices this ram, and he announces to the people of Jannah, khuludun wa la maut. You get to live here forever, eternity, and there is no death. And when the people of Jannah, they hear this, even though right now we know that when you enter into Jannah, you're in Jannah forever. It never goes away. It is forever and ever and ever, and it's always getting better. But when the people of Jannah, when they hear it, it's such a pleasant surprise and a good feeling for them, because this great happiness and enjoyment and satisfaction that they're experiencing, it will not diminish. It will not go away. It's not like this awesome vacation that somebody has and then they have to go back to their real life. This is the perfection of this gift of Jannah, is that it goes on forever. And the people of Jannah are so delighted when they hear that. And the people of hellfire, they also hear khuludun wa la maut. And this is one of the worst fears for them, to be trapped in this punishment forever and ever and ever. And may Allah protect us and our family from that. So this journey into the hereafter is something of an uphill battle. Because the Prophet ﷺ says, حُفَّتِ الْجَنَّةُ بِالْمَكَارِهِ وَحُفَّتِ النَّارُ بِالشَّهَوَاتِ. Heaven, Jannah, paradise, is surrounded with makarih. It's surrounded with difficulty, with adversity, with struggle. It is something that is valuable. It is not something that you can just attain in a very quick and easy, cheap type of manner. It is something very precious. And it's surrounded with difficulty. It takes struggle to prioritize the hereafter over our immediate satisfaction and gratification. It's not an easy thing to do. And the opposite, the Prophet ﷺ says, حُفَّتِ النَّارُ بِالشَّهَوَاتِ. The hellfire is surrounded with desire, things that are attractive, things that we can attach ourselves easily to. So it is an uphill battle. And some of the companions, when they were first accepting Islam, before they accepted Islam, they were contemplating this life of the hereafter that the Prophet was talking about, that Allah is revealing in the Quran to them. And it was a struggle. How do you give up so much of the dunya? And especially during the time of the Prophet, the earliest Muslims, when you became Muslim, you gave up everything. People would be open to torture, you'd lose your business, there was all this struggle that happened. And so they used to think to themselves, they used to ask themselves this question, هَلْ يَعِيشُ رَجُلٌ بِقَلْبَيْنِ? Can a person live with two hearts? One is attached to this world and one is attached to the hereafter. You can't have two hearts. One of them has to be the driving force in your life. And even if somebody is very much attached to the hereafter, it doesn't mean that they're negligent in their responsibilities in the dunya. The Prophet is the most concerned with the hereafter, and he's the best to his families, the best in fulfilling responsibilities, and the best form of guidance that we can have in anything in our life, including our worldly responsibilities. And so, it's an uphill battle. And one of the scholars I was listening to, he gave this beautiful analogy. And he said that yes, that right now you're a human being, and you're living one out of the three lives that you're going to live. The first life is the one that you're living right now. The one you and I are experiencing in the dunya. And the human being is made up of two big components. He's made up of the body, the physical body, and he's also made up of the soul, the ruh. And in this world, there is an imbalance between your body and your soul. The body dominates the soul. It's easier for you to make your body happier. It's easier for you to think about the needs of your body than it is your soul. And it is harder to satisfy your soul. And the only satisfaction that a soul can have in this dunya is a connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a correct connection to Allah. But you know the next life that you're going to live? The life that you're living above ground is shorter than the life that you're going to live underground. Every single one of us, and this is a reminder for myself, first and foremost, that the next life, al-hayatul barzakhiyya, the life in the grave, that life, if we think about our great-great-grandfathers, the Sahaba, the companions, anybody, how long have they been in that second life? In the life in the grave? Hundreds and thousands of years in some cases. That's the life that you and I, in this world, we all have an expiration date. It could be 33, it could be 45, it could be 70, it could be 80, it could be anything. But when a person passes away, they don't disappear into nothing. The Prophet says that قَامَتْ قِيَامَتُهُ, their journey into the hereafter begins. And now they're living the next phase of their life, of their existence, which is in the grave. And in the grave, there's also an imbalance. In the dunya, the body dominates the soul. But in the grave, the soul dominates the body. In the grave, people experience reward and experience punishment. May Allah protect us from that. But it's not the body that feels that pain or enjoys that delight. It is the soul. So there's that other imbalance in the other way. And we have to ask ourselves a very real question. What am I going to do when I'm in my grave? For hundreds and thousands of years, the Prophet said that it is just you and your deeds, your actions that you did. That's all you have. We're not going to be on our phones, on Facebook, or Snapchat, watching Netflix, or whatever it's going to be. We're going to be in our grave, and all we're going to have are our deeds, our good deeds, which by the permission and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we hope and we pray, are much, much more than any mistakes that we make, and we're forgiven for the mistakes that we make. And in the third phase of your existence, the third life that you're going to live, there is a perfect balance between these two elements of body and soul. In Jannah, you have a perfect balance. No imbalance of body or soul. You experience the reward and the delight of both body and soul. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran about the people of Jannah, إِنَّ أَصْحَابَ الْجَنَّةِ الْيَوْمِ فِي شُغْلٍ فَاكِهُونَ. That the people of Jannah today, in paradise, in Jannah, they are busy. They have this shughl, which means you're busy with something. You have this preoccupation, this responsibility. And you know that we all have responsibility in this world, and sometimes it just piles up and piles up and piles up, and we have family obligations, and work obligations, community obligations, personal things that we're going through, whatever it may be, academic, school stuff. And you have to think to yourself, what responsibility, what job do the people have in Jannah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says they only have one thing to do. فِي شُغْلٍ فَاكِهُونَ. Their only job in Jannah is to enjoy, and to relax, and to be happy, and to be satisfied. You don't have stress, you don't have responsibility, you don't get sick, you don't get weak, you don't get sleepy. None of those deficiencies that exist in this world, they all go away. You are a perfect age, and you're happy, and you're healthy, and you have one job to do, and that is to be happy, and to enjoy, and to just find comfort and satisfaction. That's it. And in that life, we have this perfect balance of body and soul. The scholars say that Jannah is so perfect that there is no concept that you could want to do something and you're not able to do it. Like in this world, if I go somewhere to enjoy myself, like vacation with my family, whatever it may be, I'm still limited in many ways. I can do some of the things that I want to do, but I can't do everything. Sometimes I don't have authority to do those things. I can't just go anywhere I want to go. Maybe I don't have the money to do all the things I want to do. Like, I'm still limited in certain ways. But I can still enjoy what I'm enjoying. But in Jannah, a person has power, control, authority, autonomy, that if they want to do something, there is no concept that, you can't do this. Because the perfection of Jannah is that if you have the idea and the thought that you want to do something, then you're able to enjoy that. I mean, this is a massive, amazing reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And nobody can enter Jannah just by their good deeds alone. No person can do that. So all of us, we beg and we rely on the mercy, the infinite mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jannah is so large. There's so much space in Jannah that the scholars say that there is enough space for every human being and every jinn, this creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has ever existed from the beginning of time until the end of time. There is space in Jannah for everyone. But the sad reality is that not everybody will enter into paradise. But there is this golden ticket. There is this passport, this visa that qualifies a person by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enter into Jannah. And there's an authentic narration where the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, مَنْ مَاتَ وَهُوَ يَعْلَمُ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ دَخَلَ الْجَنَّةِ. Whoever dies knowing this fact, believing this fact, that there is nothing worthy of worship or obedience except for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this permits them to enter into paradise. But we have to ask ourselves, how can we be among those people who enter into paradise from their first step into the hereafter? We do not want to be among those people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prevent us from being from those people that are tested with punishment in the grave, test on the day of judgment, difficulty and stress and anxiety, or punishment in the hellfire before they enter into Jannah. We do not want to be among those people. We want to be among those people who enter into Jannah without any accountability or any punishment in the hereafter. And there are people in the graves right now that are witnessing a window of Jannah, of their property in Jannah. And they're looking at their personal kingdom in Jannah that's waiting for them. And they feel that breeze and they see that, and every day they're hoping that the day of judgment will begin so that they can enter into this forever happiness place. That's the situation we want to be in our graves. The only way we can do that is if our speech, if our actions align with the best version of a believer that we can be in this dunya. That's the only way it can happen, and by the infinite mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jannah is so large that when everybody has space in Jannah, it doesn't mean you just have like a small house or you have a small whatever it is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about the people of Jannah, when they look as far as they can see in Jannah, they look to the horizon. وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَ ثَمَّ رَأَيْتَ نَعِيمًا وَمُلْكًا كَبِيرًا. When a person looks as far as the eye can see in Jannah, what are they looking at? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says they see two things. They see na'iman, they see things that make them happy, things that comfort them, things that satisfy them. And they see mulkan kabira, they see a huge kingdom that belongs to them. From this ayah, many scholars mention that every person is a king or a queen of their own kingdom in Jannah. They have their own area in paradise in Jannah, and when you have a kingdom, you have a castle, you have mansions, you have people serving you, you have your every whim, you have authority, you have freedom. This is the type of property that's waiting for us in Jannah. And one of the things that a lot of people don't know about Jannah is that when people enter into paradise, there is a bridge that all of us know about, and many of us have heard it before. It's called Salat. It's a bridge on the day of judgment that's thinner than a hair and sharper than the blade of a knife. And every human being, every person, Muslim, non-Muslim, it doesn't matter, will cross over this bridge. And the people who cross past this bridge are people of paradise. And the people who fall from this bridge, they're entering into the hellfire. May Allah protect us from that. And different groups of people are going to enter, cross this bridge in different ways. Some people, it will be so easy for them, they were amazing believers, it will be so easy, it will be like as quick as lightning, they're going to cross this bridge. It's not even going to be anything for them. For other believers, it's going to be like a swift wind. For other believers, like fast horses. But for believers that are way, way at the very end, they barely make it. They're going to crawl, and they're going to suffer, and they're going to feel the anxiety and the pain and the torture of almost falling until they cross past the sirat. But once they pass the sirat, they are a person of Jannah. That's an amazing, amazing feat by the person and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the Prophet says that there's another bridge that people will cross. It's called the Qantara. And this is a bridge where everybody who's on this bridge is already a person of Jannah. But before they enter into Jannah, they settle the issues and the disputes that they have amongst themselves. Because Jannah is Dar al-Salam. It is a place of peace, serenity. You're not going to hear bad words or be insulted or get stressed out or whatever it may be. And so those emotional scars and issues that we have amongst one another, those are settled on the Qantara, on the second bridge, before they enter into paradise, so that we can all live in satisfaction and harmony and joy. But the peace of Jannah that we want is at the very top, the highest. This is what the Prophet ﷺ told us to do. He says, إِذَا سَأَلْتُمُ اللَّهَ الْجَنَّةَ فَاسْأَلُوهُ الْفِرْدَوْسَ الْأَعْلَى. When you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for Jannah, make sure you ask for al-Firdaus al-A'la, for the highest part of paradise. It is the middle of Jannah, it is the awsat of Jannah, it's like the peak of a mountain. It is A'la, the highest of Jannah, and it's the middle of Jannah. And Firdaus al-A'la is a part of Jannah that's the upper crust, the highest part of Jannah. And people in the lowest parts of Jannah, the Prophet said, when they look up to the highest parts of Jannah, it looks like stars twinkling in the sky. We want to be in this very, very high level because the Prophet said, anytime you ask Allah for Jannah, ask Him for al-Firdaus al-A'la, ask Him for the highest part of Jannah. Although any of us would be happy with any part of Jannah. But He wanted for us to always aim and ask for the highest no matter what. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-Kareem, He is the most generous. Nobody can be more generous than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and none of us are worthy of this paradise, but He will grant and reward people, us deficient, weak human beings, with the highest if we ask Him for it, through His infinite mercy. And there are so many descriptions that we can say about Jannah, but I also want to leave you with an action that we can start doing starting today to bring us closer in terms of our good deeds, to earn the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enter into Jannah. One of the really amazing descriptions that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned about Jannah is that even something as simple as a tree, like he used so many descriptions about different parts of Jannah to give us an idea of how amazing it is, but it's like hard to imagine. He says that the houses are made out of bricks that are لَمِنَةٌ مِنْ فِضَّةٍ وَلَمِنَةٌ مِنْ ذَهَبٍ. They're made of silver and gold. Like it's hard for us to imagine that. We can imagine how beautiful it would be, but it's even more beautiful than we can imagine. And the trunks of trees are kind of like gold as well. And he said, إِنَّ فِي الْجَنَّةِ لَشَجَرَةً. There is a tree in Jannah, like a particular tree, that is so large, it's so huge, that if a person is riding a very fast horse under the shade of this tree, and they're a very experienced horse rider, so like they know how to ride a horse really well and they have a really good horse, they will ride under the shade of this one tree for 100 years, and they'll still be under the shade of this one giant tree. Like this is so hard to imagine. Like if you were in a car and you spent your entire life driving under this one tree, your whole life would be spent on driving under the shade of this one tree. And it's absolutely amazing. And when the Prophet ﷺ went into this famous journey at Isra and Mi'raj, and he went to different layers of the universe, and he met different prophets, and he was given the order of the 5 daily prayers. It's a much longer story. When he met Ibrahim alayhi salam, the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam told him that Jannah, its land is flat and it's fertile. It's qi'an. It's flat and it's fertile, and it's waiting for people to plant seeds in Jannah. And the seeds for the trees in Jannah are saying Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. These very simple adhkar, these very famous statements that we can say, they're very light on our tongue and they're very heavy on our scales on the Day of Judgment. Like these are very powerful good deeds that we can do at any given time. Saying Subhanallah. Subhanallah is glorifying Allah and proclaiming the perfection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Saying Alhamdulillah, thanking and praising Allah. Saying Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest. Allah is more important than anything you can imagine. And saying La ilaha illallah, that there's nothing worthy of worship or obedience except for Allah. And there's a very specific dhikr that I want to share with you. These adhkar, these statements remembering Allah are the trees that we can plant in Jannah, and it'll beautify and increase our property in paradise. And there's a very specific one I want to share with you because I feel like if we were to make this a habit of ours, it would improve our life in this world and improve our experience in the hereafter. And this is an authentic narration from the Prophet ﷺ, it's in Sahih al-Bukhari. And just to set it up, the daughter of the Prophet ﷺ, Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha, she got married to Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And when she got married, she said that there's so much responsibility in the household, like so many things to do, that it's not easy to do it alone. And she was going to ask the Prophet ﷺ if she could have an assistant, a servant, like a young girl, that could help her around the house. Because in those days, if you were doing everything in the house alone, like your husband's not working, whatever it is, it's not an easy thing to do by yourself. Even having like water for your house. Oftentimes women, they would travel a good journey, carrying a large container, filling it up with water, and then carrying it back to their house. Just so they could have water in their house. They didn't have running water, they lived in the middle of the desert. And even having bread for your family is a whole production. Getting up early in the morning and doing a bunch of stuff, just so your family could have some bread at night. And so she thought maybe her life could be easier if she could have an assistant, a servant, a young girl helping her with all these different things. And she wanted to ask her father, the Prophet ﷺ, if she could have that. And the Prophet ﷺ would be willing to help anybody, especially a believer, and of course his daughter. Like he would do anything for her. Once the Prophet ﷺ was riding a horse or a camel, riding an animal, and he saw his sister-in-law, Asma, carrying this big container of water by herself, and she was walking all the way home because that's how you get water for your family. And the Prophet ﷺ wanted to help her, and he got off of his animal and he offered it to her so that she could take it, and instead of walking all the way home, she can ride this by herself and then just take it home, and then he can get it later. He would be willing to help anybody. And of course, if the daughter comes up to him, he's going to find the best solution that he possibly can. And so the Prophet ﷺ, he told his daughter and his son-in-law, and this is authentic narration that's in Sahih Bukhari, he tells them, أَلَا أَدُلُّكُمَا عَلَى مَا هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِنْ خَادِمٍ. He says, I'm going to tell you something that's even better than having a servant. Like, this is not equal to having a servant. Like, it's one thing if you had somebody like an assistant that could help you with all the annoying things that you don't want to do. Like, all of our lives would be easier if we had somebody like that. This is better than having that. The Prophet ﷺ says that when you are about to go to sleep, or you're laying down in your bed, that you should say Subhanallah 33 times. You should proclaim the perfection of Allah 33 times. Subhanallah. You should say Alhamdulillah, which is praising and thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 33 times. And you should say Allahu Akbar 34 times. That a person, when they do this, the scholars mention that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives barakah and blessings in their life, that they can be more productive, they can have more output, they'll have more energy, more strength than had they not made this dua or not done this dhikr. And so it's a very powerful daily habit. It will improve the quality of all of our lives, and if we share it with our families, it will improve the quality of their lives as well. And at the same time, they're planting seeds for trees in the hereafter. Like you're getting something in the dunya and you're getting something amazing in the hereafter. And Ali anhu, he said that once I learned this from the Prophet ﷺ, every single night, there was never one night where I did not do this habit, the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, where I didn't say Subhanallah 33 times, Alhamdulillah 33 times, Allahu Akbar 34 times. And one of the other companions or one of the other people around him, they asked, what about like in the very difficult days of battle? Like sometimes there's a very difficult day in battle, and as soon as you're able to get some rest, you just fall asleep. Like you don't remember to do all the things you're supposed to do, like you're just not factoring it in. And he said, even in the most intense day of battle, I never let go of the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And the reason I'm mentioning is that is because there are different companions who excel in many different parts of their life. But Ali, he excelled in like every aspect you can think of. Whether it's knowledge and scholarship, or it's language and poetry, or it's economics and business, or battlefield, or leadership, politics, like anything you can think of. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to have this firm, strong connection to the hereafter, and allow it to manifest through the actions that we're doing in this world. And one of them is doing this dhikr. And I pray that every single one of us starting tonight, you can look at this hadith as well. When you go to sleep at night, you say Subhanallah 33 times, Alhamdulillah 33 times, Allahu Akbar 34 times. And you share it with your family as well, and it becomes a daily habit in your life. There's so much more that we can say about Jannah. And the thing that I want to kind of end with is that there is a best part of Jannah. There's a part of Jannah that we can dedicate an entire khutbah to. And it is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to in the Quran as the Masjid of Jannah. The extra special thing about Jannah. وَلَدَيْنَا مَزِيد. We have something even more special, something extra. And that is in paradise to be able to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet used to make this dua, Allahumma inni as'aluka lafzatan nadri ila wajhika al-kareem. Oh Allah, I ask you for me to experience the sweetness of being able to see you in paradise. وَالشَّوْقَ إِلَىٰ لِقَائِكَ. And to have energy and excitement to want to meet you. And this is something that one of the companions asked the Prophet, he asked him very directly. He says, will we be able to see Allah in Jannah? Like not in the dunya, not on the day of judgment, in Jannah, in paradise. And the Prophet says that you will be able to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as clearly and as easily as you can see the full moon. And the analogy that he was giving is, even if there's a big crowd of people looking at this moon, it doesn't take away from your experience. So even if thousands and billions of people are experiencing and witnessing this amazing spectacle like the moon, even in a big crowd, in a big rush, you'll have your own perfect view of seeing this amazing thing. So he gave that analogy, he gave that example, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above any analogy that we can imagine. And this is one of those things that the more the scholars say, the more you seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this world, the more you'll have the opportunity to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hereafter. And the way we seek Him is by following the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Prioritizing those things that are obligatory on us, our 5 daily prayers, respecting our elders, our parents, giving rights and respect to our family, fulfilling the obligations and the promises that we made, being truthful, not being deceitful, not lying, not breaking promises, donating whatever we can, whether it's time or money, whatever it may be. Doing these types of things, prioritizing the things that are obligatory upon us on a daily basis or weekly basis. This is the best and most efficient way to be an amazing believer and earn the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all the highest al-firdaus al-a'la, save us and our families from the hellfire. Allow us the sweetness and delight of being able to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and give us the enthusiasm and the excitement to want to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأولين والآخرين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آمنا فاكتبنا مع الشاهدين. اللهم إنا نسألك لذة النظر إلى وجهك الكريم والشوق إلى لقائك. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. وأوفوا بعهد الله إذا عاهدتم ولا تنقضوا الأيمان بعد توكيدها فاتقوا الله عليكم كثيرا إن الله يعلم ما تفعلون. واذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم ودعوه يستجب لكم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر وأعلى وأجل. وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
It's still awesome. Make sure your hands are straight, make sure your phones are on silent. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر إن إلينا إيابهم ثم إن علينا حسابهم الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاكم الله خير Imam Mumtaz for the reminder of Jannah. May it be fruitful to us and each and every one of us. May thank you. And next month is the clinic. So next Friday, please remember to bring people to the clinic for the health care, inshallah. And the time for Salaah is right now. Fajr is not 5:10. The Kaaba is 5:10 for Salat Fajr. And that's really not Shahada. Okay, sorry. Then an announcement. In parking lot, there's a table outside from the United African Organization. They're helping you do the registration for voting and for immigration, healthcare, anything that you need that you have questions about the system here in America. They're here to assist you and help you with that system. So please stop by the table and see them. And also remember that we have the Janaza program here also. I'm going to just remind them of that. So please see him so I get more information about that. Thank you.
We do have a young brother that passed away that was in the process of doing another
just to keep you updated, we had a young brother that passed away. The clinic the hospital reached out to us, so once we get more information, the Janaza will be here, and then we'll make that announcement later this week. Thank you. Around overtime. Thank you.
Please, if you have information to be announced at the masjid, please give it to us before the salat of Jummah so that everything will move smoothly. It's not when we get here, that's when you want to get this information. It doesn't look appropriate. So please, give it to everyone. If it's not yet, I'm here to make the announcement for you. It doesn't look haphazardly, telling you it's informed or not informed. It just doesn't look good. So,
and then our sister Ghanaian to Allah bless them with a newborn baby. We pray that Allah make the baby good to Muslim and grant the mother and the baby and father good health. Amen. Thank you. MashaAllah, we have 22 boys.